Thank you for allowing me to honor Jamie Kraus on behalf of all of her teammates, coaches, family, friends, and SUNY Potsdam. Hall of Fame would have been probably the last thing that Jamie would have said walking into the hallway her freshman year. If I had said, hey, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame in a few years, she probably would have just shook her head like she did just now and been like, not a chance. Some things about her career. She was just quiet, unassuming competitor, but she had a desire to work when nobody else was watching and continue to do the right things on and off the court and in the classroom. A lot of people want to have the success on the court and in the classroom, but she's one of those few, and that's why she's here in the Hall of Fame, that's willing to do the work, the grind, as the young millennials like to call it, to make sure that it happens. And she did that on a regular basis. I always considered the music program here at Crane as kind of a Division I sport and the amount of hours and time that it required from its students. And so for her to do 2 sports essentially here as far as commitment-wise was just impressive throughout my time. As far as a teammate, Jamie was a great teammate, befriended by all of them from lots of varieties, lots of places. And they truly loved working with her and being her teammate. And she was always one who was willing to just come out and work hard. And her teammates never knew how much she had for classwork. She was never the one to say, oh, I've got 19, 22 credits, 4 ensembles, 3 things going on this weekend, and I'll be back up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning in a room in the basement of Crane for about 4 hours in my trumpet. Those words never came out of her mouth. She just went and did her work and her business, and that's why she's here today. And so I'm honored to be here today, and that Jamie is rare, and we're really appreciative of the time that she came to Potsdam Volleyball and was a member of it. I have a few things over the 15 years that kind of describe how rare she was to the program and is, and a kind of a top 10 list. 1, she's the only 4-year all-conference volleyball student athlete during my 15 years with the program. She's only one of 3 athletes to be able to compete and graduate from Crane, and do both in all 4 years in 15, and over 20-some student athletes started and attempted to do that in volleyball. She's the only middle blocker during my 15 years to lead the team in kills. For those of you that may not be volleyball dorks like me, they don't set the middle blocker that much, so they don't get as many kills as an outside, probably about 1/3 of the time. So to lead the team in kills is pretty impressive. Or she really befriended Sarah C., and she set her a lot. Not sure which. She's the only middle blocker to average just under 100 blocks per year. She's also finished 2nd in kills. That was by 1, or she would have been 1st that year as well. She finished 3rd and 4th in kills in 2 other years. The best another middle finished in my 15 years was 3rd. Just as impressive, and when I reached out to her former teammates to ask about what their thoughts were about Jamie, their first thing that they all brought up was her unbelievable ability to impersonate Macy Gray and perform Macy Gray solo on buses. Also, they did remind me that you could do Shakira as well. Those are facts. Befriended and beloved by each of her teammates. It was just awesome to be a part of it, and we get to add to that list a Hall of Fame member. So it's my honor, and Jamie, this is your moment. You've earned it. Welcome to the class, the Hall of Fame class for Potsdam.
To follow that up, thank you, Steve. It was very, very sweet, very nice. So playing volleyball here was an amazing experience for me. But first, I came to Potsdam for music. I spent 3 summers at music camp as a young band nerd at the Crane School of Music. There I met Doc Ellis at age 13. He's the trumpet professor who would end up being a major reason why I wanted to study at Crane. This school was my #1 choice. My parents trekked me here in a snowstorm in January to get to my audition, and I made it, and I auditioned for Doc Ellis. And about 5 minutes in, he called me over to sit down, handed me his business card, and told me he would love to have me at Crane. I'm pretty sure my audition was subpar, but I think he saw I had potential. This was the reason I was coming to Potsdam. But on the other hand, I also knew I needed to play volleyball. It wasn't a choice, like maybe I would play volleyball. I really wanted to play volleyball. I loved it so much, it wasn't an option to not play. It was almost unheard of to be a music major and also play a sport. I think there were a handful of people who did it while I was here, including a few of my teammates. It wasn't an easy thing to do, but it was possible. My first experience at Potsdam was an interesting one because on the second day of preseason my freshman year, I twisted my ankle pretty badly. I wound up hobbling around on crutches for the week and having to come to practice and just watch. I spent a lot of time with our trainer, Heather Pike, as my ankle healed, including sitting in a van and looking at her and Steve's wedding photos while the rest of the team went on a hike. We had known each other for 3 days. Bonding. Luckily, I was back playing in time for the first tournament. I loved my time here playing volleyball. My teammates were amazing, and they were people who I never would have met if I hadn't played volleyball, since most of them were not in the music school. We had such a fun time going away every weekend, spending 4 or 5 hours each way on the bus, being silly, rapping Eminem songs, eating a lot of Subway sandwiches. That smell on the bus after 5 hours is a lot. Of course, eating dinosaur barbecue every time we went to Rochester. It was a really great time in my life. We all had a lot of fun. I am really grateful to have had such supportive people in my life who encouraged me on both sides of my endeavors in volleyball and music. Doc Ellis was always asking me about the volleyball team in our weekly lessons, and he even hung a picture on his office door of me spiking the ball when I was on the cover of the school newspaper. I never felt like I was doing the wrong thing by doing both. They were both important. On the other side, my coach, Steve, knew how important my music major was, and he made many accommodations for me, including having one-on-one practices during the day if I needed to miss our usual practice time for a concert or something else. He knew I was dedicated to the team and understood how I needed to balance everything. I really appreciated that I had such great support in my life. Overall, I look back on my time at Potsdam as one of the best times in my life, and volleyball was a huge part of it. I still miss playing and the friendships I had on that team. We were never the #1 team, but I saw us get better together, and that was really satisfying. So thank you for this honor. It's nice to have something that culminates my time here. I couldn't have done it without all of the support, so thank you.